Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys and gals. Let me get a sip of my water first. Get my radio voice going, and let's talk about this. And this is an important thing to discuss because, again, people obviously note that I am looking much better. My physique is still a long way from where I want it, but I'm going to continue to actually focus on aesthetics as a primary training goal. All right, nutrition and training goal is going to be very high on my list of priorities. But the topic comes up of, will you get weaker because of that? Well, we may get weaker because of the weight loss. We may get weaker because of the cutting, but that is actually largely regainable as long as you maintain the lean tissue. And I think some things that people need to think about, it just doesn't take that much heavy work to maximize neural drive. It really doesn't. And we know, study after study after study that looked at elite powerlifters, they can pretty much do a DEXA scan and determine where they're going to place. In other words, this has been done. They've taken powerlifters, done DEXA scans, and the researchers, without knowing which each one is, have ranked them based upon height, structure, lean body mass, and they have been able to successfully determine their totals in relation to each other. In other words, this person has the strongest total, this person has the seventh strongest total. They can go do it down the road. So what does this tell you? We've known for a long time, lean body mass relative to levers and moment arms is the primary determination of your maximum strength. Neural drive, all this other stuff is maybe 10%. So do you see where we're going with this? When you look at it from this perspective, does anyone really think, oh man, Blaha is benching less weight because he's doing all this flat back benching? Wide grip, flat back benching, no leg drive, but it's building my pectorals. All right, so you guys see me doing all this. Does anyone think that that's going to not help my bench in the long term? My pecs are growing. I'm doing incline, which again helps you out of the bottom of a bench. My front delts are going to grow from all of that. My upper chest is going to grow. All that pressing helps triceps, but I'm also doing all those extensions. Don't you think that's going to help bench in the long term? I'm doing all this extra lat work. My lats are getting bigger. When you power bench, lats help you drive it out of the bottom. So the end result is, from all of that, in the long term, I'm going to be lighter, leaner, and with bigger pecs and bigger triceps. In terms of the Wilks score on my bench, from a powerlifting perspective, wouldn't that eventually make it go up? Of course it would. All right, same thing with the squatting and deadlifting. Well, body fat hurts you on the deadlift. This is a fact. Notice most of the best deadlifters have abs. No, seriously, when you go look at different weight classes, they're all leaner. I mean, historic examples, Kaylor Woolham. Crazy deadlift. How about Big KK? First guy to deadlift over 900 pounds. Did it without a belt. The guy had visible abs. Did it in a sub 308 class. Body fat hurts you on a deadlift. So this should just be ruled out. And again, we come back over to all the back work, doing all those reverse hypers, glute ham raises, all the extra quad work. That improves the deadlift. Doing tons of pull-ups, rows, all that stuff that will build the lats, build the grip, all the high volume posterior chain work, that still carries over. That's how you build it. That's how I originally built my deadlift over 600 pounds. I wasn't doing lots of deadlifting. We just built those areas. Well, you get leaner and it helps. All right, squatting can be a hard one because squish does help. Sure, being fatter helps you a lot on the squat. We do see that. The biggest squats in the world do have big bellies. Yeah, opposite of the deadlift. Notice people tend to be really good at one or the other unless you're John Hack. That's why nobody likes him. He's such a freak. He's just good at everything and at too light of a body weight. I'm being facetious, by the way. Nothing but respect. But I've seen people joke about that. They're like, F that guy. Because he's just that good. There's can be a little bit of haterade there. But the thing is, Outside of it, yeah, okay, fine. But we come back over to that point. Has anyone ever became a bad squatter because they built their quads up? No, I mean, really. Because someone put a lot of effort into building their quads and glutes, have they become weak at squats? Do you see where we're going with this? And I'm not saying there isn't a difference in a focus. There's a difference in sometimes the focus of the training. Because yes, for maximizing strength, we're always trying to game the system. You're trying to, for displaying the strength, yes, you are always trying to use as much neural drive. So yes, heavy singles help there. And really heavy singles are the only thing that truly help that. Let's be realistic. This 5 rep sets and stuff do not carry over the same. They don't. We all know this. Every coach better know this. But we're trying to game the system of cheating leverages. But it's the opposite when you're trying to gain muscle. You want to get the most out of the exercise. You want to work the muscle as hard as possible at disadvantaged positions. And of course, obviously for strength, we're trying to get into advantaged positions. But it doesn't mean all your training needs to be there. And my point is, getting lean helps your strength to weight ratios. Getting jacked will help your lifts in the long term. And we need to be clear there. People also need to understand it doesn't take that much heavy work to get your neural drive up. Again, people have this idea that they just need to do tons and tons of it. That's not the case. They proved that at Westside. We've seen that in other situations. Couple of training maxes a week is enough to get it done. Okay, so I want people to understand that when we are talking about this, it's not like it's an either or. It's not like because you spend some time on your biceps and getting leaner that you're going to be weak. That's not how it works. And keep in mind how many of the most famous bodybuilders throughout history with phenomenal physiques have been insanely strong. I mean, we all know, obviously, Ronnie Coleman. Doesn't mean Ronnie Coleman was the best powerlifter in the world. No, but I would have ventured to say that had he switched over to pure powerlifting, he could have been. Right? Because as a non-powerlifter, the guy squatting and deadlifting 800 pounds, seen him do a double with 500 pounds on a wide grip bench with no arch. Yeah. Everyone from Arnold Schwarzenegger to Franco Columbu all the way back to Reg Park. Reg Park was like the first bodybuilder to bench 500 pounds. So people need to understand that it's not like you are going to be weak because you spend a bunch of time building muscle. That's not how it works, guys. It's not how it works. And being leaner and fitter is only going to help your relative strength. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.